Testing, 1, 2, 3. Well, I tried to do the second half and it cut off on me again, so I had to re-upload and everything, so let's see how this works. I apologize for that. I really didn't know what was happening, but for some reason, I guess computers run out of memory space. So, what we were talking about, we were talking about the idea of being connected or disconnected. And that's basically how, the difference between the two worlds that are spoke of in the Bible. And, one of the basis for my teachings is that, it narrows things down to such a point that I can't make it up. The outside can be made of all kinds of things. The narrative is to perhaps you don't have to follow everything in the Bible. Perhaps all you have to do is pick the ones you like, and everything will be fine. And to skate under the door, thinking God loves you anyways, no. That's the baker. You're using your mind. You say, oh, I think that I'm doing it right. Well, a good number of people think they're doing it right. And a good number of them just know that theirs is the right way. Like, I listen to these Baptist preachers talk about mean, vicious people. They take their Bible literally, and it's just a mess. It's just a mess. Really mean, But then again, if they want to preach, the narrative of the Bible it's what you see. Don't change a word. Don't put yourself into it. Don't take anything out of it. Read it right as you have it, and boom. And it also says, take God's word and shout it out. So, I watched these young evangelists just shouting, and I said, you guys, you don't even know what you're talking about. Of course, none of them do. If they knew they couldn't do the job, they would be seriously taking advantage of everybody. So it's best that they don't, so that they can keep their job up, and that is that they have to follow that narrative that what they say is right. And if they are allowed to, to beat up on and hate, fags, and if they're allowed to go and blow up abortion clinics and stuff like that, they can all group together and hate the president and all. This shows there's a force in this, but you'll see that God is not in any of that. God doesn't choose our makers, our presidents. When they go and touch on the walls over there and this and that, they're getting nowhere. You have to understand that what we teach, what I teach, what we've learned, and what the Bible teaches us is the truth. And there's only that one way, and I've repeated it over and over and over again. As you can't, what's on the inside, the part that they're asking us to read, the Spirit, just keeps repeating itself, keeps saying the same thing, keeps showing us the way, the way to come on, doesn't tell us how to eat, what to eat, it doesn't say anything about us, how to take care of us physically, on the outside. It's just all about how to take care of ourselves on the inside. So, that narrative of doing it on the outside is what's killing everyone and hurting everyone and causing all the chaos in this world. And, of course, the idea is the following, not just the narrative, but, hey, there's a whole mess of people doing it, and the whole world is doing it, and even if it's a lie, then still, just get on board, stop, making waves and stuff like that, But the whole point of the Bible would be, it tells you to get out of that. He wants, the idea is to get out of there. Few are ever saved out of it, but if this is a big game, what we are talking about right here in the winner's circle is the prize. It's what we're supposed to search for. And of course, the Bible comes out and says, that there's prophets out there, they prophesy falsely, and preachers rule by their means, and my people love it so. And he says, But what will they do in the end thereof? These are good questions. But it's, it just shows that people really like the drama of it all. And that's how it works. Wow. Wow, that's really that's pretty. That's really pretty. That's Mariko. She got a new haircut. She's a pretty girl. She's a pretty woman. Nice woman. Inside and out. Raised 3 kids in this little bitty house that I have a room in. She's been here for like 20 or 30 years. Just amazing. She looks like she's 30 years old. It's just amazing. Anyhow, I'm blessed with really good friends and people that know me and love me. I'm just absolutely very rich. And this is what you're also supposed to get when you finally get this thing going on inside of you. You become rich. In the Bible, it talks about, if you want to go and take care of the poor, you want to go take care of the shut-ins, you want to take care of those people that are in prison. Every one of those people are you, all right? But it doesn't hurt at all to go and do that on the outside. That's a good thing. It really is, They need people to help them and stuff like that. And because of this, there's no cleaning up. The men are absolutely wallowing in their own shit. And then they're told to go and find Jesus, as if this is going to do anything. And Jesus, to God, the Bible says, you're not going to get anything out of them. Come on, come inside. I will help you. If go to these places and teach them how to meditate. And then when they go inside, and all of the stories when God takes over, and whenever actually. Prior to it, when you go under and slip into the second phase of consciousness, which is water, to clean yourself, you're slipping out of your skin, you're slipping out of 666, the devil of you has been put down. That's why evil doesn't bother you. And that's really about, I want to go into a lesson more today than just the narrative of things, but when we go in, we clean this hell inside of us out, And I hear, oh, so you mean there are no 10 Commandments? There you can just do whatever you want. There's nothing that's written down that you have to do. I said, listen, if you have to be told not to steal, if you have to be told not to kill someone, and this little Bible is what's keeping you from doing it, you need some help. You really need some help. So the idea is that when you go in here, you're seeking the higher mind. And the higher mind is not spending its time thinking of low conscious objectives. So no, it's when you're in this lower mind that you could feel a little hate and, regret and remorse and anger and this leads to dementia, and next thing you know, you want to kill yourself, and all this stuff. This is something that just builds up and fosters, and this is what we're talking about. That gets purged. You connect these guys together, and you'll get your cleansing. This is your thing, But no, the narrative is no. Live with this all your life. Let it fester inside of you. Let it create a cancer. Let it burst out of you. Let mankind take care of you. Mankind will hook up and save your life. It's going to cost you though, But you go inside, this place. You get this pineal gland to open. The manna that comes from heaven, I can only imagine is called melatonin. It kills cancer cells. That's what scientists have found out, And this is the idea that it's the stone. If you don't use it, it's sandy consistency. So your house is built on sand, then, anything can happen to you. Look, you believe in myths, you believe in talking things and stuff like that, virgin births. No, and you're also like so blind that you can't see that they're really talking about going a little further inside, just a little further past those words. Less shallow, just a little bit of thinking, but not a whole bunch. But anyways, about this narrative, you know, we'll know more about that stuff that happens in Las Vegas. But I'm telling you that they are pushing a narrative. And it doesn't matter, people can come up and say, but I saw him, he was purple. They didn't hear it. That's like this. I saw it, I heard it, I did, the guy looked like this. I don't want to hear it. Alright? And this is the way Jesus and this energy is towards the believer. I've done this, I've saved many, I've gone here, I've gone to the shut-ins, I've taken this, I've taken care of my mother and my father, and I've done everything, and